1. Chamber 2 and 3, which is this chamber 3, both only have one astronomical alignment that we know of.
If so, please indicate with a yes or a no.
This is like the old party spot, right? So I used to come out here, and, you know, as a teenager with the beers and the boys and do our thing.
Record. There's a red button. You press it, and it's recording.
Okay.
So you speak into it, the date, time, and then at this point, yeah, start filming. I'll go over some ground rules first, and then
I'll give a little spiel about Clifford
Alrighty, so
we're Gungywamp, Clifford Tears.
You ready? Okay. So ground rules are no whispering, talking your normal voice, because audio will pick up a whisper, and we'll spend hours trying to figure out what that whisper is, who or what it is. Okay. And so, with no further ado, we're at the Cliff of Tears, and Kyle will give us a little rundown on the history of it.
Alright, so Cliff of Tears is one of about 70 different man-made features that are of archaeological interest in Gungywamp. Obviously it is not a man-made cliff, it's a natural cliff, but taking a look at it, you can see all the black soot. I believe it was 1986 or 87, had given a tour to a bunch of females. And the story goes that when they all came up to the Cliff of Tears, they all got their periods at once and started crying. That's where the nickname began. From there you can find countless articles and stories online of people getting feelings of dread, overwhelming feelings of sadness and things of that nature when coming to the cliff. So that's why we're here.
Yeah. Alrighty, so you guys heard the stories. That's what we're here to either kind of prove or disapprove. So I guess if you feel like crying, let one of us know and just let it all out, right? At this point, Jeff, how would you like to start?
Well, if we want to go up there and maybe do some EVP sessions and get some readings up there. I got the video camera set up to kind of record. You just got to get an idea of personnel up there. You know, how the field of view looks. And we can record what we're doing up there.
All right, well.
If you want to go to the top, the easiest is to go to the rear side of the cliff and walk up it.
Okay. I don't know if you want to go all the way up there or just to the crevice there.
I think just to the crevice is good.
Do you know where the students were? Were they at the top, the bottom, the middle?
As far as I know, they were just generally in this area walking by it.
Okay.
So I've never heard anything different.
Okay. Alrighty, so let's go see what we can find out right up there. If I block the iron, it should steady up. There we go. Alrighty. Alright, so let's do a testing question. Is my name Jim? That's a yes. Okay, can you straighten up for me, please? Nice and easy. Straighten up. Thank you. Okay. So, next question. Is there a spirit or spirits here that would like to communicate with us? If so, please indicate with a yes or a no. That's a yes. All right. And only one rod seems to be moving. Okay. Thank you. Can you straighten up, please? All right. So there's the potential of something being here.
Well, we'll give it a shot and see what
Give
happens.
it a shot, right? So if you'll ask, and particularly ask questions that you know I don't know the answer to,
Yeah.
right? It should be pretty easy because I don't know nothing about here
Ooh.
other than what you told me. All right, steady up.
I'll ponder and think of something like that.
Okay. I'll start off with easy ones.
All right.
And then,
Oh, this just went off.
okay. That's good. That's a good sign, right?
All right. So obviously, I've been here many, many times. Do you recognize me?
Well, it's pointing to you. All right, so can you straighten up? Straighten up, please. I mean, it looks like it kind of indicated a no, but I'm like Columbo. Let's ask it again.
Sure.
This one also went off. Again.
So, do you recognize the gentleman to my left that has been here many, many times? Is he familiar? You got a yes. Okay. Thank you. Straighten up, please. Okay. And we'll come back to that again later.
Yep.
Next up.
Let's see. Have you been here for more than 100 years?
Bulk mode now, so energy is strong.
Oh,
That's a yes. Oh, wow. Hey, huge K2. I don't know if you got that on the video. Huge K2 hit. That's a yes.
Focused on the one behind you.
Okay.
Cell phone check.
Mine's in my left pocket.
mine's on the rock over there.
Mine's in my back pocket on my butt.
One's on the ground over there now.
Alright, let's see what happens now. Alrighty. Let's get steadied up again. Sorry about that. Alright. Whenever you're ready.
Yep. Have you tried to communicate with me before?
That's enough.
Oh boy.
It does recognize. Okay, can you straighten them out, please? Thank you.
Are you a male?
That's a yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, what was the question you asked about the years?
Did you die here?
Thank you. Straighten up. Did you used to mine iron in the big rock behind me? That's a yes. Okay, straighten up, please. Thank you. Do you recognize the person to my left who has been to this place many times?
Alrighty, there you go. Alright, so a Cairo is a monogram. It's the letter Chi and Rho superimposed on each other to make a symbol, which I coincidentally have a tattoo of. This right here. Alright, so where that symbol came from is when Emperor Constantine turned the Roman Empire from pagan to Christian. And if you've heard the saying, in hoc signo vinces, in this sign we will conquer, that's where that came from. So Cairo is the letters Chi and Rho superimposed, and is the first two letters in the Greek word for Christ. So what's interesting about Gungywamp is we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 known Cairo inscriptions out here in Gungywamp, along with a couple other different inscriptions. So it being a Catholic symbol, it makes no sense that it's out here because this area was settled by English Puritans, not Catholics. However, one of the theories, long before my involvement in Gungywamp, going back to the 60s and 70s, is the potential that this place was settled by Irish monks in the 500s, right, by a guy named St. Brennan the Navigator. So he wrote a book about his legendary voyage, and if you read it, it's sort of reading like a mythological story, sort of like the Odyssey. But nonetheless, it is a document explaining that Irish monks in the 500s left the Dingle Peninsula and Ireland to look for the land of the saints west of the British Isles. So the only area west of there is Iceland, Greenland, and America. So we now know, obviously it's been popularized in the last week, that Leif Erikson settled up in Lonesome Meadows, Newfoundland, around 1026 or 1021 AD. So if looking at it from a history perspective, we know that the Irish made it to Iceland prior to the Vikings, and the Vikings sort of followed them, so on and so forth. So it would make sense that the Vikings followed the Irish all the way to the Americas. So back to the symbol, and it's kind of hard to see. This one's in a bad spot, but there's a more prominent one in there I can show you.
Get a symbol, and then this might get it.
Maybe.
Well, it's a full spectrum, so the sun doesn't matter.
So you can kind of see the P for it.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. So this is the most prominent one on this clip. All right, and you can feel it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this clip. So, anyways, going back long before, probably before I was even born, they took charcoal samples from two features out here. One from, it's called a mill race. It's a double ring of stones, and I'll show you guys that on the way out. The other was from this chamber right here. So those charcoal samples were carbon dated and came back pre-colonial. This one came back, I believe it was right around 1300. It was like 1287 AD, somewhere around there. The other one was right on the dot, 550 AD. So now you have these Christian symbols, and you have the book written by St. Brendan about his legendary voyage to this part of the world. You have carbon dates, you have European structures that predate colonists, and all this sort of coming together. Some of the structures out here have astronomical alignments, and what's great about those, especially Chamber 1, which again I'll show you guys on the way out, is it includes both the winter solstice, the 2 equinoxes, and the cross quarter day in November. So something we did, and the cross quarter is very interesting. So if you look at the path of the sun, it sort of works like a pendulum. How it, on the solstices it sort of sits, but then as the pendulum comes down, it speeds up. So when you're looking for these astronomical alignments, so something like the equinox, you only got like a 2 or 3 day window where you can really see it because the sun's moving so quick. But as you get to the solstices, the changes in the sun's position day by day slows down. so you can see it for longer. But with that, there you can track the cross-quarter days. So there is a calendrical cross-quarter and an astronomical cross-quarter, 2 different dates because of that position in the sun. Now, over in Europe, a lot of older structures, when they included these cross-quarter days, they would do it based on the Julius calendar, all right? Because it more closely matched the astronomical date rather than the calendrical dates. The Gregorian calendar, which we use today, came around, I believe, somewhere in the 1500s. I don't remember the exact date. So anyways, to have these alignments lining up with the astronomical cross-quarter instead of the calendrical means that it was most likely built to match the Julius calendar, predating the mid-1500s. So a lot of different circumstantial evidence pointing in one direction. So something we did began last September, was an OSL project, an optically stimulated luminescent dating project, where we took samples from the base of several of the structures to date the last time that those minerals saw sunlight. Presumably would have been the time stone was placed, thus being the date of construction. The preliminary numbers for this feature came back matching the charcoal dates, both pre-colonial. I believe they're off by like 15 or 20 years from each other, which is still well within the window of the discrepancy. So you can feel right here, this is the most prominent one. I'm probably one of the only people that have ever actually found all of them. And we've used RTI, retro transformative imaging, to capture all of them before, just because of erosion and stuff. We don't want to completely lose the fact that they did exist at one point. So this right here is the most prominent. So you have down bar, the P, and then you also have this crossbar. So what's interesting about that crossbar and the Cairo on my wrist is there's several different styles of Cairo. All right, one is a full X and a full P. Another is just a crossbar, the P, and that crossbar is either in a T shape, going from upper left to lower right, or vice versa. This style coming from with the P and a single crossbar coming from the upper left to lower right is predominantly found in Ireland between 400 and 700 AD, which puts it right in the window of all these other things coming together. So, and then inside the chamber over here, it's a little more prominent. So right here, smaller, but you can really feel it. You have the P, you have the crossbar, and then the sun is just right. Let me see if I get out of the way here. No, the tree's in the way.
Can I point it out again?
Yep.
Because I think
So right here, you have the P, and then the crossbar. Let's see if I can shine a light on it just right to capture it.
I think
Oh yeah, you got it.
So,
Perfect.
gotta get close to it.
And up at the top too?
So then up at the top you have an I, an R with an overbar. So the overbar indicates that they are part of the same word or
Ultraviolet picks it up
phrase.
pretty good.
Yeah. So the interpretation or the argument is it's the Cairo is the symbol meaning Jesus or Christ. So you have Jesus Rex Christos.
You guys can see it in the camera over
Yeah.
here, right?
Yep.
So, that's the full spectrum.
Yep. So, and right around the corner from the Cliff of Tears where we were just at, there's another inscription. It's called the Icy Ball inscription. And that one's sort of controversial. Some geologists have confirmed that it is man-made. Other people say it's natural. Those that say it is man-made also argue that it's basically an I, a C with an overbar, and then 3 hash marks. So you have 2, a good sized gap, and then another one. And the 2 big interpretations are either, or the 3 is either it's all natural. The second one is it's a J and a C, and then the third for John Christopher III. So we do know that a gentleman by the name of John Christopher was out here in the 1600s being dispatched to look for iron ore deposits. by John Winthrop in Pequot Plantation, which is now in London. So there's that. There was no John Christopher III, it was just John Christopher. The last interpretation following this sort of Irish monastic trend is it's Jesus Christos Ball, so the 3 hash marks are actually Ogum. And what Ball means is Lord, Master, or King, right, Jim? So, reading it in Ogum, translating it to Hebrew, then English, it reads Jesus Christos Ball. So, Jesus Christ, the King, the Lord, the Master, along with Jesus Rex Christos. So,
Any questions?
yeah.
A lot of information, fire hose of knowledge right there, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks, Tyler.
I've had very good mentors
Lots of
out here,
research.
so-
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
he's done a lot of digging into the history and finding the significance of these artifacts and stuff. So.
Yeah, I was lucky. Though I'm not a professional archaeologist, I am going to school. Hopefully, by the time I'm a fireman, my goal is to work on